We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Hello and welcome to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
And across from me is Brett Chapin.
Thanks
hello,
for
hello.
joining us on La La Land. This is the only nationally broadcast show by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists on episode 152.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dorothy.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? A lot of stuff going on this week. We've both had a busy week.
Both had busy weeks, yes.
A lot of fun stuff going on. I hear you're getting new headshots.
I am.
I heard that from you in the car on the way over.
Yes. I'm getting new headshots on Monday with Robert Kazanjian, so I'm very excited about that. Yes, Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while. You know, I've had a commercial representation ever since I came to Los Angeles, but theatrical and management has always been that thing that's sort of elusive. So I've been doing a few of the theatrical agent workshops, and I've been getting the feedback cards, and on all my reading and all of that, they're like 9s, 10s, 9s, 10s, and then it gets to the headshot, they're like, me. But that's something, but I'm glad that there's that kind of feedback I can get, because headshots are something I can do something about that.
Oh yeah, it's very important.
I can do something, so I'm excited about that.
Good.
And I had some help from Nicole Gaston Ketchum. She's a friend of mine. She was another one of the Big Lots Deal Divas with me on that campaign in the fall. She came over and helped me sort of weed through my wardrobe. And I also went to Dawn Baker. She owns Happy LA, which is a retail store in the Palisades over on, I think it's the Palisades Highlands Road. It's like up the
Oh, the fancy road.
The fancy road, yes.
Nice.
Went over there, and she does great styling. She worked for Michael Kors. She has her own line now, and so I went to her store, and she helped me match everything up and gave me some makeup tips and all that. So I feel really prepared and excited. So
very cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wish you had one of your old headshots with you, because I think you look pretty much the same. I don't know what their problem was with your head. Maybe because it's not close enough.
It's not close enough, and it's still it's a little juvenile. I think like there's something about the makeup, I think, that just doesn't because my focus is going out on those mom wife roles, and right. I don't have a shot that does that for me. Luckily, I started going out, and there are casting directors that know I can look like that, so they call me in and call me back and all that sort of thing. But I want to go out more. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good new headshots.
Good. Yay, new headshots. So I want to go from, going out to, 3 to 4 times to like every day. I want to have to quit my day job. That's the thing. I love the kids. I do. I love you. But I want to be booking the P&Gs and the Kraft macaroni and cheese and all that kind of stuff. I want to sell you tampons. Maybe going
national with La La Land?
Yes. Go national with La La Land. Let's do this, right? That's what I want.
We've earned that after 3 years.
Hello.
Come on.
Hello. I agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I had you wanted me to tell you like the funny callback story?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got callback for this great commercial, and the first call was weird because they said, okay, you have to learn the first chorus and the first verse and the first chorus to Royals by Lorde. And mind you, that's not my, that's not in my genre of music, but luckily I'd been to a bat mitzvah the weekend before, so I knew what they were talking about. So I practiced this song. I practice in the shower. I sing it to my cats. I have these lyrics down. I got them. Got them down. So we go in, and they've wanted me to wear my glasses a lot in auditions. So these are my glasses, right? They're great. They're adorable. They're also reading glasses. So I go in, and they have us kind of doing the singing along, and it's on a keyboard, so it's right there, and that was cool. And then you stand up, and you're supposed to really be jamming out, and they have it on boards. And I stand up and I look, and everything's kind of blurry because it's my reading glasses, and all of the lyrics just went right out of my head. I mean, they totally left But I didn't
You were
stop.
over prepared.
I was over prepared. But you know what I did is I didn't let it stop me. I kept going. I made up words as I went along. I even kind of like commented on, I don't know what words I'm singing, and I'm going to sing like I'm in the shower. I mean, I just kept going. And from that, so they cut, and the session director was like, all right, that was good. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just completely messed up about 90%. He goes, no, really, don't worry. Don't worry about it. And I said, are you sure? He goes, seriously. Sure enough, he was right. I got called back. So I go in and met the director. And when he gave me the redirect, I said, all right, so I can think about this redirect, I'm just going to John Travolta these lyrics is what I'm going to do. And that was cool. So I got on a veil. I got really close, but I didn't book it. But it's one of those positive audition stories that, it just makes me more ready for the next one.
Yeah, sometimes you can improv on the spot like that, and it works out well. And
Yeah.
I love that John Travolta these lyrics is actually like a phrase now. I'm
I
gonna
think
John
it is.
Travolta this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's would that be a verb or would that be an adverb? Oh, or if you said them John Travolta-ish, I guess that would be an adverb. But going to John Travolta, that is a verb.
That would be a verb.
That would be a verb.
Love it.
Mrs. Ellis, my 7th grade English teacher, would really want me to make sure that I got this correctly.
Hmm. My dad, the English teacher, would want me to make sure too.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't know the answer when you first said it, so.
Did
Sorry,
you diagram sentences? Did he make you do that? Did you know how to
No.
diagram a sentence?
Oh, when you
remember?
cut it, yeah.
Yeah.
You cut it up into verb, adverb, noun,
Right.
whatever.
And you make the chart, make the little chart thingy.
Oh, I don't know the little chart thing.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Ellis. She was legendary. Like she smoked cigars and like the whole thing. Like she
Ooh,
was
in class?
Not in class, but some people like, did you see her? She was like back there, like behind the school smoking cigars.
Wow.
She was a character.
Go teach.
I know. I can't wait to like be her in a film or something. I have to age about 20 more years, but I can't wait. I'm so excited because I have that reference.
I can't wait to see you smoke a cigar.
I know, because I've never smoked anything, so
Yeah. Ridiculous.
it would be.
All right. Cool.
And how about you?
Well, how about me? Well, I wanted to mention before I got into me. I did want to mention something kind of serious.
Okay, we're gonna be serious.
The South by Southwest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The
Yes.
South by Southwest was this last week,
Mm-hmm.
and some asshole decided to plow his car into the crowd and killed 2 people and
Injured 23.
injured about 20 people. Yeah, 23. So I wanted to say that our hearts and our thoughts go out to the families of the victims and everyone affected by that. So, it's so crazy. These people come out and they come to have fun at a venue. They're not expecting all this. And I really wanted to go to South by Southwest this year. I want to go sometime in the future. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of crazy the things that happen.
It is. And also, I mean, in an overall commentary, if you're going to, enjoy a cocktail, a wine, in anything, just have someone else drive. There's Uber, there's Lyft. These places there's taxis. You can go old fashioned. Don't drive. Do not drive. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive.
I guess he was running from a DUI checkpoint too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
so crazy.
Don't drink and drive. I've had family members killed because of drunk driving incidents, and it's just it does not work. Like, don't do it. Just don't. Just do not. I don't care who you are, how famous you think you are, and entitled you want to be. Do not do it. Period.
It's just I never understood why people do that.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, and I actually, I mean, I don't know why I did it, but I actually watched a video that a guy took of about 2 minutes, 3 minutes after it happened, and he was just walking along the street and showing to people lying there.
It's
and it was just
devastation.
horrible. It's
There's
horrible.
devastation. Yeah.
So our thoughts on our hearts are with you over there in Austin.
That they are.
And I wanted to also mention that I did invite Justin Bieber on the show.
I saw that.
On Twitter.
Speaking
today,
of reckless driving,
so we'll have to cut your interview short, Lisa, if he does end up showing up. I hope you don't mind. Yeah.
I'm only letting him in if he brings the monkey. And if it doesn't bring the monkey, he doesn't get in the door because I'm a co-host and I get a say.
That's right.
So there it is.
Did you see his deposition?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just, don't talk about it. Do it.
I've been detrimental to my own career. Boy, if that isn't true.
Yep.
I went back to and I watched an old interview of him when he was like 16. It was his first time on the Ellen show. He was so cute.
He was.
He was like a cute little kid. And
Yeah.
he was saying, Ellen was asking him what advice did Usher give you? And the advice he said Usher gave him was to stay humble. He hasn't done that.
That has not happened. Although, have you seen the interview that Zach Galifianakis does with him with Between Two Ferns?
No.
Do it, because Zach literally takes his belt off and spanks Justin.
Really?
Yes.
I gotta see it.
Everyone's talking about Obama being on there, but that's not even the most entertaining interview. Like, it has to be. He literally yells at him, calls him a petulant child, and spanks him, goes after him with his belt.
Really?
It is genius.
I love Zach Galifianakis.
I know.
He's hilarious.
I know. He's a little North Carolina dude, man. I mean, there's...
Oh, I was working background on the election, I think it is.
Yes.
The movie with
the
him.
one with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not stop laughing the whole day. Between the two of them on set, it was ridiculous. He's so funny. So I got to check that out.
Excellent.
For sure. I was wondering what this Two Ferns thing is.
Between Two Ferns. It was on this thing called Tim and Eric Awesome Show that was on, I can't remember what channel. It used to be on maybe Adult Swim, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a very strange show, but there's some parts of it that have shot off and had their own thing. And one is John C. Reilly does this weird expert thing. So, and that is now getting its own show, either on a web series or something. And then the other one is Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis. So those are.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Monday. I get to work on my favorite show, Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh.
That is such a fun set to work on.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
My friend Zoanne Clack writes on that. Woohoo! Go Zoanne.
Nice. Yeah, they're really professional, really nice, really good set to work on. It's my favorite one.
Excellent.
And then more exciting news, I got booked on this film called The Judge.
The Judge.
Yes, it's with Robert Downey Jr.
Ooh.
and Balthazar Getty, Leighton Meester, a bunch of people are in it.
I got to watch Iron Man yesterday. Iron Man 3. I'd never seen that. So Robert Downey Jr. snaps.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes.
It's going to be a good shoot. 2 days. It's a Midwest town.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a really good movie.
So you'll be out in Temecula? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably. Santa Paula or something. Yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be fun stuff.
Excellent.
Theater Palisades is opening Don't Dress for Dinner.
April 4th.
April 4th.
Mm-hmm. They also have their Playwrights Festival. That's going to be the Tuesdays in April. I think the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. Ooh, I can add.
Something like that.
Yes. 8 plus 7 is...
We actually have a couple of representatives from the Playwrights Festival coming on the show on the 29th, I believe. Pat
Okay.
Perkins and Shirley Turgan.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It's been a long week for both of us.
It
I
has.
understand. Yeah. So we're looking forward to talking to them.
Yes.
Let's start the show. What do you say?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Do you have anything else?
I don't think. Oh, I had to talk to, because we closed Ever After on Sunday, and it was interesting. The new families that I had to talk to them because I'd forgotten to send out the blanket email.
Ever After is your show at Theater Palisades?
Yes, the one that we just
TheaterPalisades.com?
exactly the one that we just closed, and we had a great cast of 25 and age range from 7.5 to 12 and 13, excuse me. We had one to turn 13 right before rehearsal started. And, just talking to them about post-show depression, because it's something that if you're a new actor in a show, it's a very intense experience. You're with these people for many, many hours, and you're sharing something very, you all have this common goal, and you're really going for it, and then it's all gone. And you wonder, what am I going to do on my Tuesdays? And I've had panicked families call me before and wonder, what is going on with my child? I mean, they're upset over nothing. I don't know. I'm like, you have to just give them a little time. Do you find that? Do you ever get post-show depression?
Yeah, I've had it since December. It's you miss your cast, you miss your show, and it's that routine that you get into of going to rehearsal every night and then doing a show. It's yeah. I need somebody cast me in something. I need to get in a theater show.
Yeah, after Spelling Bee closed, I would literally wrap myself in the cape that I made to be Pony Bear. I would curl up on the couch with my cape because I missed my friends so much.
I saw Spelling Bee too recently.
Oh yeah, the one at where?
El Portal.
Thank you.
Kristen Towers Rolls.
I'm like,
yeah, that was great.
Yes.
Almost as good as yours.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. What else? Oh, I recently bought some Pringles pecan pie flavored and Pringles cinnamon and sugar flavored.
Pringles?
Don't get them. It's just wrong. It was actually a little upsetting when I bought them, but I just bought, yeah.
That is really weird.
I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing everything out there right now
Yeah.
at this
Well,
point.
I think they're trying to jump on the Lay's wagon about, Lay's has all those new flavors that they want you to try, like chicken and waffles.
Oh, yeah, but potatoes
Just
supposed to be
chips.
not supposed to be sweet.
Just be simple.
I get a little sugar on the French fries. That's actually not bad, but
Yeah.
not on chips.
Not
It's weird.
no.
So I don't know. Anyway, now that we've covered Pringles and theater, let's get to the show.
Excellent.
If you want to find us on social media, guys, go to facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk, Twitter at twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk. We actually take questions during the show on Twitter
We
as
do.
well as on the phone. You can call us at 323-473-3100, 323-473-3100. And you can also send us an email at lalalandtalk@gmail.com.
That you can.
And we have the amazing Lisa Marquise from Cut Above Casting here today. Hello. Hey, Lisa. We're looking forward to talking to her. And we'll be back in just a moment with La La Land on LA Talk Live.
Great.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more back thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. World won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. World won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Wake up, all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hair. But they don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up, all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out. They do it every time.
This is Brett Chapin.
And this is Dorothy Dillingham Blue, inviting you to join us every Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time for our show, La La Land Talk.
Join us as we talk with some of the top talent in LA. Artists' untold stories, your phone calls, and live on-location broadcasts have made La La Land one of the best sources in LA for everything entertainment.
So don't forget to tune in to La La Land Talk.
Exclusively on latalklive.com.
You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com.
Saturdays at noon Pacific Time. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk, Twitter, twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live.
And we are more than just talk. I think we've got a Shakespeare monologue or two we could do. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Kickball change.
Good
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. Mm-hmm.
I'll do some Pippin.
Ooh, yeah. Some miming. I'm in a box.
Yeah. It's your man Dane Webb, host doing the most on latalklive.com. Dane's World every Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's HLA every Saturday. Check me out. If not, Elaine, y'all be cool, live free. Check me out. iTunes R&B, Live 365, Facebook, Dane's World, and Twitter, Dane's World. Ustream.tv, Dane's World. Y'all be cool, live free, enjoy your day. Peace.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez.
And I'm Lolita Robinson Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on LATalkLive.com. Inspirational radio
with a touch of recovery.
A reality show where nothing is left unsaid
and no one is insignificant who says it.
Exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is John McClure Jr., a.k.a. Simply John, and I would like to invite you to join us on GospelRhythms.com every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our show, GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Join us as we celebrate Christians around the world in all genres of entertainment, as well as highlight interest stories on men and women who are making a difference and impacting their community. So don't forget to tune in to GospelRhythms.com on LA Talk Live. And we're more than just talk. Remember, it's a heaven's party here on earth. So live life. Love God.
This is Jay Nicole, and when I'm in LA, I'm listening to LATalkLive.com, exclusively on LATalkLive.com and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. You can also catch them on iTunes Radio R&B, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, Radio Flag, and AHA Radio, or watch and listen directly at LATalkLive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue. I'm Brett Chapin.
It's true, he is. He's not lying or anything.
Nope.
It's totally Brett Chapin.
I would not lie to you.
Never.
And we're talking today with owner of Cut Above Casting, Lisa Marquise.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
So Cut Above Casting. Why don't we start with maybe if you could tell us a little bit about what Cut Above Casting does and your history in starting the company, how it all began?
Okay. Cut Above Casting is a extras booking service. So in layman's terms, we're the middleman between the actor and the casting director.
Okay.
And so on a daily basis, the casting directors will call us for different submissions, almost like going out on an audition, but it's a picture submission to them for what they're looking for, certain ages, certain props they may need, special skills, and based on the criteria that we select on our website, we then send them a submission, and they get a PDF of it. They call us back and tell us who they want to book for what productions, and it goes around the clock, 7 days a week.
Great.
So it's a real great way for casting directors to have an outsource to find faces in one place with one set of people managing and wrangling all the extras. And it's a great way to have the extras finding about productions that they would never normally know about being out here, especially if they're new to LA.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what gave you the idea to start the business?
There was no idea. It was just one of those fluke things.
Okay.
I don't even know. I didn't even know my whole life they haven't been around maybe 15, 18 years, call-in or booking services.
Yeah.
That's pretty new.
Yeah, pretty new. Only exist in Los Angeles. Like we were talking about, Dorothy, I'm pretty sure that if you heard it in New York or Atlanta or anywhere else, they'd think it's just a scam, because that's what I had heard when I first looked into doing extra work. I actually looked into doing extra work when I wanted to do voiceover.
Okay.
So, what else could I do? Well, you could do extra work. And one of my very, very dear friends, a writer friend of mine, said to me, well, if you have to pay for it, it's a scam. here I am now 9 years later, and you're paying for it.
Yeah.
And it's not a scam.
And it's at pennies compared to
pennies.
the bookings that people are getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pennies. But I will say it was a fluke thing. I happened to be dating an actor at the time, and I was looking for a new industry, and I was watching the onset or probably the beginning of reality TV, and I just gave one of those intentions. I go, I could be a casting director. How hard could it be? You read people very well, tell me what you need. And it's funny what an intention does, because I just happened to be looking through Craigslist one day, and I saw an ad for a casting coordinator, and it paid $7 an hour. So I was like, how hard can it be for $7? You got to be able to learn that.
Sure.
So I looked into it, and I started with another company that was very small. And I got in there and started to run it the way I like to do things. And he liked it because he got more time off. And eventually I moved on from there and took the advice of my casting directors. I said, should I start a service or should I work for you? And they said, hands down, start a service. So the intention was to start a service a little bit better than what was already out there, a little bit better than what I'd come from. Mm-hmm. Put a little bit more respect behind it. Okay. Be more selective over the actors that we bring in. Put some ethics behind it, and make it the strongest service out there. And we built that up for the last 8.5 years.
That's amazing.
Pretty proud of it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, what you talk to us about what's unique about Cut Above Casting?
Everything.
I know you mentioned also that you're more interactive as far as like your online website helps work for your clients.
Mm-hmm. When I came into the industry, it was still, I think back then it was just transitioning out of picture books. Mm-hmm. I think everyone remembers scenes in casting offices where you see stacks and stacks of headshots or a submission of pictures. Mm-hmm. That's where we were just getting involved, and from there it went to attaching a photo to an email. That's when emails were starting up, and Gmail, I remember, was just starting. Mm-hmm. And there were maybe one other service that had a website, and I remember thinking, oh, a website. That would be so cool, but how does that work, and who do you find to do that? And I knew nothing about it. And I stumbled upon a web programmer who's just been such a loyal, excellent, not only friend, but part of the growth of this company. Mm-hmm. And we enterprised our company in a website. So you can literally get all your bookings through the website. You get a text message. You get a copy in your emails. It goes into your profile. We can omit. We can unfortunately suspend and flag. We can do any kind of notes. There's 2 texting lines, so we can text you back and forth. We can do all the bookings through it, all the submissions through it. So it's literally like its own hub of an employee. Mm-hmm. It does everything. And it's really catapulted us to that level that no one else can really catch us at. I mean, you figure, I've always said, in any business, it doesn't matter what it is. I tell my extras this all the time. If you put the main things that run a good business together, you're going to have a good business. Yeah. If you put really good product, which would be the extras, and you hand select them and you make sure they're the caliber you're looking for, and then you put a great staff that are loyal, that learn, that know how to do every aspect of it. You put together, an owner that cares, and you have a website that does all the work. Mm-hmm. You have a good business, and that's what I think that we've established after all these years. I know that's what the casting directors are. That's why they use us.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you don't charge the casting directors anything?
No, it's a free outsource to all of the casting directors, to any production that has in-house casting. It can be anyone that's casting TV, film, music video, commercials, print campaigns. We even do audience work. It's literally the gamut. Now we're into webisodes because of the new media. Mm-hmm. So we see a lot of that. So they call us as an outsource, no different than, I think there's like LA Casting and Hollywood OS and these online companies where you put your photo up, and casting directors can also outsource to that. And again, that person pays the business. Right. And the casting director for free will look at it and then pull their people off there. Well, the booking services, they just call up or they instant message or they email what they're looking for, and we send them the submission. So we receive our all of our fees from our extras because we are providing a service for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, is that in addition to a percentage of their?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So I think some people are they have their information a little skewed because if you are with a typical agent, either commercial, theatrical, legit, their income comes from when you book work.
Right.
But sometimes you don't book work and they don't get money, and then that gets a little unbalanced. But they still want you to pay to be on LA Casting and take care of those fees. But you're unique in that that it's similar. It probably is comparable to paying to be on LA Casting or Casting Frontier. And
I mean, personally, I think it's more advantageous to have a business booking service because you're talking, we're losing talking to real people.
Yeah.
We're losing hands-on with staff and owners and actors and communicating that way. But we have the technology. An agent and a manager take a percentage. A service is something that's rendered.
Yes.
So in our case, you're paying for the service. We can't guarantee the bookings because we're not the casting director. But
Right.
the goal in growing the business to the place that we're at is that you make it so they want to call you.
Sure.
They want to wake you up and look for a rush call because they know your clients are going to be able to get to set quickly. It really, Atlanta and some of these places are really growing with film and television. When they really start to understand what a service is, every casting director out here that uses us would say, you cannot survive without a service. It's really come to that point. And so that's why we really focus on what their needs are, and then we just deliver it, and then it makes it easier for them. I mean, think of how many times productions change a day, even on the weekends. Casting director might be skating out to go to a family event, and they get a text or a phone call. It's just easier to call a service.
Yeah.
Know that someone's in charge when you're gone off to your event, and they're handling it. So that's what we're there for.
Excellent.
It's nice for the actor too because they don't have to be calling a casting service trying to get through on the lines and trying to get work. You just you kind of take the work out of it for them.
Take the legwork out of it, exactly.
Call them for jobs. That's nice.
Always looking for work for them. I mean, I think what I would love to tell all the extras is there's no reason we don't want you to work. We don't make any, so a good service is passionate about what they do when they get excited about the bookings, but they're not making any extra money.
Yeah, I think that's what some people get a little confused. It's like, and once you kind of do the comparison, it is penny for the actor. It's pennies.
I think I've heard a lot of my clients. I've told them, for what you pay a month, you pay a personal trainer for an hour. So when you break it down and you always have a set of eyes and ears watching for work and able to get a hold of you to get that job. Even if you didn't get booked, which all of our clients get booked, it's still worth the money because it's kind of like having a temp agency or we're not managers, but a background actors manager.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of always searching and looking. And
you really are managers. I would say you kind of are because you take a personal interest.
License-wise, we're not. Licensing-wise, we're not.
No. But you do kind of take a personal interest in each client. That's
even when they leave.
Nice.
I'm notorious for finding, talking to my old clients when a casting director may want them because you're trying to keep both people happy. The casting director doesn't care if they've paid their fees or not. They just want that look. And the actor wants to be able to work. So, when you really get it down, you just kind of get the job done, no matter what it takes.
What do you look for when somebody sends you a submission to be a part of your services? Because you don't take everybody, right? You're
very
pretty
selective.
How many clients do you have total, would you say?
A little under 400 right now. And it stays right around 350 to 400. It seems to be that's what's given to me.
Sure.
So it stays right in that very manageable amount.
And what do you look for when somebody sends you their headshot and their resume?
A bookable look. A look that isn't going to stand out in the background. Because when you think of it, that's supposed to accent the principal actors. So you don't want, let's say, that bright blonde hair, or you don't want necessarily big long beard. And I know beards are popular right now, but they're not really, really bookable just yet. But they're out there.
Sons of Anarchy may not be needed, right?
Deadwood was a long time ago, and it's coming back. But I think that we have a lot of referrals. We don't advertise.
Yeah.
We let our client, when we've chosen them, we let them decide when they're on sets who would be a good fit, and it keeps that caliber where we need it to be, as corny as it sounds, a cut above. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But because I know that a lot of services do kind of take everybody, and I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing because sometimes you get people who are a little flaky and a little bit maybe not right. So it's good that you guys are a boutique like that.
Yeah, I think I've liked staying boutique, and I think, like I said, when you get referrals, everyone kind of you know the vibe of how the company is. Because if you're bringing in your friends, we get a lot of kids that come from out of state. And once they get here and their friends graduate from college and they're heading out to pursue their dreams in theater or TV and film, so you get the same caliber of person. And we really have seen generations and generations of friends come through. The neat thing about the services, especially I think ours, is that you make a lot of new friends really fast when you're new to LA. I mean, it's like a family.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the den mother. Big family. So it works.
I think, I remember when I got in here and it was like the late 90s and early aughts, and promo work was really big. And I think that, promo work is kind of going to the graveyard, and people are looking to do something more like what Cut Above does. Because it was a bunch of, we were a bunch of actors, but we were like, shilling Lord knows what in bars at 2 a.m. and all this. And I'm not a bar person, so I really did not fit in. I'm like, whose idea was it for me to like walk around with like this? This is strange. I'm not a Bud Light girl.
There is less of that though nowadays. There's less of the people coming up to you and giving you free drink coupons and things
exactly.
like that.
There's a lot less promo work, but that was how I met a lot of people, was through that sort of experience. People that I wouldn't have met otherwise because they didn't go to my school, or they didn't come from my town, or they didn't live in my building, or whatever. So yeah, I think it's great when you come to town to work with a group of people that are going for a similar goal, but you may not have met them any other way. So.
And it's safer.
Yes, it's way safer.
I thought one of the reasons I enjoyed starting this was I'm native born to Los Angeles. So
you are one of like 4 I've met in my life. Wow.
That's it. There's only we get that. Nice. I get that reaction all the time when I tell people, so when you see so many, especially young kids coming out here, I knew when I started the business, for me, because I never thought I'd be in this type of business. When you're from here, you're not really in it, but it was really neat to start a place where I knew people were safe. I knew that if it was a young, pretty girl, not only was she going to get on a legitimate production like you spoke about, Grey's Anatomy, and we're on Glee and Modern Family and so many productions, but they get to come to a place where I know that they're getting on real jobs, that they're not getting cheated out on money, and that they're meeting good people. And that was important to me because I hit this industry a little bit older, and so you kind of have those motherly instincts. Like you don't want people to get screwed, and you don't want them to go down the wrong path.
No.
Because it can happen in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, it can.
So.
Absolutely. What would you say is the? I don't know if you deal with actors from other areas of the country, but could you speak a little bit about maybe the differences between being an actor in LA and being an actor in other parts of the country? Country
or states?
States. Other states.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think I've been to Atlanta to kind of scout it out there, and surprisingly, it is a really different actor. I think, and from speaking to casting directors, when they travel to these other states to work on films and then come back, you really realize how the background actor out here is very serious. They're out here with a strategy, with a goal, in their own personal journey to achieve what they're trying to achieve. And it's not to say that the other states aren't, but you really do realize how serious Hollywood is, since it's the beginning of time. The 30s, the 20s was all started in Hollywood. So I think that the difference is mostly that they just take it more seriously here. And if you're in another state and you've got a job, let's say hypothetically at Starbucks, and Starbucks calls you in, it's not a big deal to not go to your set. But when you're out here, Starbucks is a secondary job. And your goal is to get on those sets and make connections and hopefully have a break. And they still happen. The breaks still happen out there. We've had some amazing ones in Cut Above. So I'm not going to say they're not as serious, but the regimen is it's more solid here for the actor. They do it around the clock. They grind at it. I don't think it's that same mentality in the other states just yet. But goodness knows a lot of film and TV have gone to the other states.
Yeah.
Interesting, the change. I've heard that Boston is really big too, and Atlanta, Seattle I know is getting bigger.
They'll get bigger, but you know where they're never going to compare to Hollywood?
No.
The weather.
Yeah.
The weather. Can't film in Boston and some of those East Coast states when they're in constant state of, ice and snow.
Yeah.
So that's where we're always going to be that good fallback no matter what, because we've got amazing weather.
And because there are 2 series that are filming in Chicago right now, and I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, it's cold there. I did 6 winters in Chicago. It is cold.
Yeah, it's gold.
I think they're never gonna be able to compare with LA as far as the volume of actors that come out for film and television.
Yeah.
We just like we can't compare to the volume of theater actors in New York.
Exactly. New York is definitely more theater.
Yeah. We're always gonna have that above other cities.
I think so. And there was a very big lottery given to different films. We're probably about 9 months into it now, so you saw a lot. You literally went from seeing the streets of Hollywood dead, where you see a lot of film trucks. We saw it all the beginning of last year when everybody was running to the other states for the tax credits. For some reason, we couldn't figure out how to do that. But then we saw a lottery win, and they doled out a lot of money to different filmmakers, and almost overnight you saw the trucks back. And now we see it consistently, and I live in Hollywood, so just seeing it, you're like, it's back. So I'm going to be getting called soon. And sure enough, those phones start ringing up again, and you talk to cast directors you hadn't talked to in years that were on some of the TV shows many years back, and they're getting jobs again. And it's a very small family and background.
Yeah.
You have your main casting companies that have been around forever, and they really are still solid. Those are the ones that they go to because they work with the same production groups all the time, the same ADs. And so I like that about being a booking service. There's not a lot of competition between the cast directors and the services. It's one tight family.
Yeah.
And everybody does work together.
I think there's maybe just 5 or 6 in LA at the most.
Yeah.
Booking services.
Legitimate, yeah. I'd say 5 or 6.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now, for someone who's maybe they booked a background job, and they're headed to set. It's their first day on their first background job ever. What are 5 things that actor should know? And
I would say be organized and show up on time, even a little early. Be camera ready, because in the background acting world, you always show up with your hair and makeup all ready to go. Follow direction. It's pretty simple. Many people go on set and they've never been on set before. So if you're with Cut Above, you're going to know some other Cut Abovers that can help you. But follow direction and just take it in and enjoy the experience, because you're going to learn a lot. And then if you become a regular, that's where you see the growth in the actor and possibly a stand-in role, or we've even seen speaking roles. So I would just say, like you would do in anything, be on your best behavior.
And I think people are sometimes confused, like, who do I report to? Who would does it
usually a PA?
Usually PA.
First one you report to. Yeah. In holding, it's called extras holding, and that's where they all wait, sign in. And you're welcome to ask questions on set. The PAs are there to answer the questions. Other actors, you can learn a lot from the other actors on set. There's a lot of experienced actors in my roster, and they have a lot of great knowledge into the industry.
Cool.
Have you ever had a background actor get bumped up to a SAG role? I know that you had an Argo story.
We have an Argo story. We've actually seen a lot of my background actors get speaking roles. Actually, can I say one today that I think is getting a speaking role?
Please. Oh, sure. Amy
Diang is working today, and I just had a rush real quick before I got here to let her know that she is also going to be speaking today.
Nice.
On a production with Damian Lang. Congratulations, Amy. So we're really old, veteran client, so she's been with me for a long time. Well deserved.
Excellent.
But cool. We see it. We do see people that get roles, and the only way you get them is when you're on set. I don't know who's going to get them when I book them. My most favorite story is with a background actor named Ken Edling, and he started with me non-union in his, I think, late 50s maybe. Was with me for a couple years. Great looking man, just very distinguished looking, really, really nice. One of those guys that when he gave me a Christmas present, it was rather generous. He just looked at me and said, just say thank you. Just a really pay it forward kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he got booked. He got well known in the services. All the cast directors loved him. And one of our main cast directors, one of my good friends at Sandy Alisi, Kristen Barona, she booked him on Argo as one of the dignitaries. And Ben Affleck, who we all know is very hands-on with his productions and his films, really liked his look, and Ken knows exactly how to be on set, just the ultimate professional. And sure enough, he got a speaking role. So when you watch Argo towards the end where they're announcing the hostages, and the person announcing them is supposed to be with the government, that's Ken Edling.
All right.
So he got to announce all their names. Yeah. So, and then when they won an Academy Award, we kind of won an Academy Award.
Definitely.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And is he SAG now? Is he union?
He's been
because
union.
of that?
Mm-hmm. He
great.
was already union.
Oh, he was.
He
okay.
worked with me non-union for about 1 or 2 years, advanced to union, and knew that the game is to just stay in it. just stay in it, whether you're booked or not. Be seen. Let those casting directors know you. Let them know what service you're with so that they can be represented by the service. And it worked for him. He is very well respected with all my casting directors that have used him. He's a great guy.
Because one of the biggest questions that I hear on set is how, because you need 3 vouchers to get into the union, 3 SAG vouchers, and I've always heard the question, how do I get a voucher? How do I get a voucher?
Just be on set. There's no rhyme or reason. It's a little dash of luck. It's maybe sometimes knowing someone. It's doing a good job. Sometimes a casting director will just say, I need to advance 3 people. And she might ask for my opinion, or she might pick her own, or someone on. You can always ask. I mean, do it right. Use your gut. Don't be obnoxious. They see obnoxious all the time. Sure. But I've literally heard every story possible. And that's why when people ask me, I say there's really no rhyme or reason. Be on set, do a good job, and like anything in life, let it just come to you. When you have all the right intentions out there, it will come.
I think having a good attitude goes a long way.
Absolutely.
For everything, not just background work, but for really everything.
Well, you remember our saying, don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
that's a good
say it all the time.
Can I put that on my website?
That is true, please. And your website, speaking of your website, is cutabovecasting.com. You can find you on Facebook, right, at facebook.com/cutabovecasting, and on Twitter at cutabovecasting.
Yep, thank you.
We're speaking with Lisa Marquise of Cut Above Casting. If you have any questions for her, make sure to give us a call at 323-473-3100. 323-473-3100. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Lisa Marquise of Cut Above Casting on La La Land on LA Talk Live.
I never dreamed you'd leave in summer. I thought you would go, then come back home. I thought the cold would leave by summer.
This is Brett Chapin.
And this is Dorothy Dillingham Blue, inviting you to join us every Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time for our show, La La Land Talk.
Join us as we talk with some of the top talent in LA. Artists' untold stories, your phone calls, and live on-location broadcasts have made La La Land one of the best sources in LA for everything entertainment.
So don't forget to tune in to La La Land Talk.
Exclusively on latalklive.com.
You can also catch us on iTunes Radio, R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com.
Saturdays at noon Pacific Time. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk, Twitter, twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live.
And we are more than just talk. I think we've got a Shakespeare monologue or two we could do. Yeah?
Jazz hands.
Kickball change.
Good
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying.
I'll do some Pippin.
Ooh, yeah. Some miming. I'm in a box. I'm in a box. I'm in a box.
Yeah. It's your man Dane Webb, host doing the most on latalklive.com. Dane's World every Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's HLA every Saturday. Check me out. If not, you're lame. Y'all be cool, live free. Check me out. iTunes R&B, Live 365, Facebook, Dane's World, and Twitter, Dane's World. Ustream.tv, Dane's World. Y'all be cool, live free, enjoy your day. Peace.
This is Jay Nicole, and when I'm in LA, I'm listening to latalklive.com. Exclusively on latalklive.com and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. You can also catch them on iTunes Radio R&B, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, Radio Flag, and AHA Radio, or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
One can have a dream, baby. Two can make that dream so real.
Welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue. I'm Brett Chapin. Van Eric, engineer Van Eric, you're just on it with the music today. I'm loving this. Look at that.
I know. I walked into the studio and the music was blaring and he was singing. It was a great way to walk into the studio.
It's
really
a fun
cool.
time.
Yeah.
It's
Positive
a fun time.
vibe here on LA
It
Talk
really
Live.
is.
You know, we were talking in the break about being on camera and actors being on camera and being camera shy, you know, doing background work. It's always funny for me because we're going on, in 2 weeks, we're going to be 3 years on this show.
Wow.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I love listening to that first episode of the show because my voice was shaking. I was so nervous.
Oh no.
And now it's and I don't know if you were nervous like your first day here, but you know.
I was a little nervous, and I sometimes I feel like I get diarrhea of the mouth, but you know I feel like I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. Now I come in and it's like, okay, I gotta do a show.
That's
It's
all
no
right.
big deal.
Cool.
So were you nervous when you came here, or the first show you did ever?
I think at the other place I was nervous too. And another reason for that is it was a live broadcast. Was our first broadcast. It wasn't on camera. It was at Theater Palisades. And it was, yeah. If you listen to that first episode, and I'll post that on our Facebook as we get closer to our anniversary. But yeah, there's some shaky voice in there.
Okay.
But yeah, a little more used to things now.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, we're talking with Lisa Marquise of Cut Above Casting.
Hello.
And cutaboveCasting.com is a booking service for background actors.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give you a chance to mention you had told us a story about somebody named John Irwin, a client of yours. Did you want to talk about John?
Earlier. John's just the epitome of someone who enjoys life, and you're always blessed when you get someone, as we have many of our actors, that are just grateful to be here working, learning the ropes. But John, just when you get this guy that looks like he's straight out of Frank Sinatra days and has the energy of a young spirit and just the graciousness, you know, that really stands out. And so he became a friend, and he passed away a couple weeks ago. But the greatest story I have about John, I have a lot of great stories about John, but two of them real quick. We put him on a Genio's commercial, and he got a residual check because he was on camera for a long enough time that he would receive checks. So excited about that. Catapulted him into SAG. And so every year he would bring me Genio turkey patties and Genio turkey. Every single Christmas he'd show up at my doorstep. He also supported me when my dog Fozzie had lymphoma, and he was again at that doorstep with the dog food once a month. His cutest story was when we didn't have the website the way it is now. We have all the services have what's called a hotline. Used to be an old school thing where you record what's going on for the day, and back in the day you had to submit through the hotline. I kept the hotline because I liked that I could interact and let all of my clients know what's going on in the office all day long, so they feel very very much a part of it. Something you don't get when you're with LA Extra, LA Casting, and you don't get that hands-on human interaction. So we kept it, but we didn't have text messaging back then and all that stuff, and I had to get a hold of John because somebody wanted him to see if he was available for a feature film. And I knew he wasn't up with even cell phones or pagers back then. So I put on my hotline. It was the last episode of Nip Tuck. It was a big scene, 98 people. Pete Sutton was doing it, and he used mostly Cut Above, so I knew all my actors were out there. So I said, guys, I need your help. I need to find John Irwin. So can you guys look for this wonderful man? He's probably wearing a fedora, and he's the nicest guy, about 5'2", Caucasian, and just go up to him and tell him Lisa's looking for you and can please call into the office. So John Irwin calls me, and he says, Lisa, this is John Irwin. I feel so popular. Everybody's coming up to me saying, are you John Irwin? Are you John Irwin? Lisa's looking for you. She needs to have you call the office. And he never let that, he always reminded me how much that day meant to him. And it's sometimes those experiences and those memories that really, when he passed, those are the things I thought about. And I know that he was extremely important in my life. And I know that we had a good part of making his later years really, really fun for him.
That's awesome.
So we'll miss him.
Yeah.
That must have made him feel good.
Cute. It did.
Popular guy.
No, you'd mentioned I can't remember, I don't know if it was during the show or as we were prepping, but that you also have done voiceover.
Oh, Yeah,
No.
That was for about a year.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I really wanted to be a voiceover actor, but I think what most actors need to figure out at some point if they have or do not have the chops to be an actor. And I didn't have the chops to be an actor. To me, there's so much that goes into being an established or even working towards being an established actor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the schooling, the classes, doing extra work, the research. And I found a couple times, even though I loved being casual behind a mic, I didn't have the chops. I didn't want to take the improv class. I didn't want to go and you have to really be an actor when you do voiceover.
It's true. It's true.
I was trying to do voiceover when this kind of landed in my lap.
Well, and then
direction.
You know, the universe kind of brought you something else.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's funny how it works like that. It's
Yeah.
Nice. I could never do voiceover. It's not. I don't know. It seems like you guys that
do voiceover.
Yeah, Dorothy does voiceover.
Voiceover.
It seems really. Does it get repetitive?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. You really have to think on your feet, though. Like you said, the improv class is very important. I'm glad that I had a background in improv as well as developing a character, because I've done commercial, which is very short form, and with that you have to be really quick on your feet as far as, all right, we want it this way. Can you do it a little this way? Can you do a wild line or something? But I also do audiobooks, and so with that you have to develop the characters, a lot of times many characters over a course of 3 or 4 days in a studio by yourself. So you have to be able to work independently, do the research, like you said.
It's competitive.
Things. It's very competitive.
Extremely competitive, and a smaller niche than acting, and a lot of celebrities that do voiceover, so they get a lot of those jobs. It just I had to just say, if I have to be honest, I can't do it. I can't do this all to make it successful. So I just bowed out gracefully.
All right.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. To like.
Yeah. I know a lot of actors take years off and come back and.
Oh yeah.
Get started again.
You're gonna love this. Okay. So I'm at a film festival, and I'm in between going to screenings, and so I'm sitting with this girl, and she starts talking about how much she hates auditioning and acting. She goes, but I'm an actress, and I looked at her straight in the face. I'm like, you must stop. You must stop right now, because you are miserable, and I can guarantee everyone in the room with you is also miserable. It's okay to stop. Go do something else. You can come back. But oh my gosh, you must stop right now. and it was one of those moments. She's like, I just thought I could act to pay for my writing. I'm like, this is not how it works. Yeah. This is not how it works, sweetie. So
sometimes there are misguided actors.
There are, and I think she's self-conscious about how old she looks as opposed to how old she is, and I think you have to commit, especially when you're working in background. Hey, know your look and market yourself accordingly.
And be okay if you look older than you are.
Yes.
And be okay if you look younger than you are, because they're going on the look. They're not looking necessarily at your age. They really are going on the look.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the nerdy type, don't try to play the ingenue. And if you're the, if you're the ingenue, don't try to play the gangster. It's just, I see a lot of people trying looks that just don't fit them at all.
No.
I see headshots, and it's like, why are you trying to do that? Well, I think you can
talk to a couple casting directors, and you can see their Facebook post when they say, stop sending in you if you don't look like what I'm asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It seems to be, that should be step one.
Yeah.
Look like your headshot. That's a whole nother stuff. I have a funny story about that too, real quick.
Oh, yeah?
I was talking with an actor that was saying, I was suggesting they wanted to make more money with acting. So I said, well, why don't you go to some booking services, or why don't you call this place and do this, and why don't you call this place? And their answer was repetitively, I'm too lazy to do that. I'm too lazy to do that. And it was, get out of my industry,
Get
if you're
out, you lazy little prick. Oh my God,
I don't understand
serious?
Why you would work in an industry that eats lazy people for breakfast. It really does.
Oh yeah,
It
you are
swallows lazy
Wheaties to
people.
them, buddy. You are a bowl of Wheaties.
Yeah.
Just
You almost need to be. I remember one of the best advice I got in voiceover was from a instructor who said an actor needs to understand that they are half talent and looks, and the other half is your own business.
It really is. And that's what you don't learn in technique classes. And I think more classes should be taught about the business side of things, how
Absolutely.
important marketing is, how important submissions are, and the way to market yourself. I think that's something that should be taught more often, because it's very important.
And professionalism.
Yeah.
Not always think your looks are going to get you everywhere.
Right.
Get a good team around you.
Right.
You know, when you're starting out, part of the team should be a booking service. I mean, there's no reason not to have a booking service. We will always find or hear of work that you have never would have heard about on your own, hands down, especially an aggressive one like ours. So why wouldn't you want that as one of the avenues in your quest out here?
Right.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully you fall into, by talking to other actors or doing your research, you'll find the right classes and make the right connections and build from there, because there really isn't a necessarily exact way to do it.
No.
You know, a lot of people do it right, a lot of people do it wrong, and you just don't know till you really get into the grind.
Right. Now, this is an industry question, because you say you do commercials and television and film. What are the hours? You know, if someone's saying, is working in background gonna work in my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, if for instance, I have a son, so I'm a little dictated by his schedule. What is a schedule like?
I think when you drive around and you see movie trucks always around, and you see lights on and you see productions rolling, I'd say it's around the clock. It's all the time. The benefit, at least in our service, is you can dictate your availability with us. So if you had certain days that you had to go see your son in school, you just wouldn't post those days as available. Because everything for us is a search. When the casting director calls, they're asking for a certain age range, an ethnicity maybe, a gender, a size, maybe with or without a car, and we just search everything. And once we selected, those people that fit the criteria will then pop up and we send it to them, and then they're going to look at it no different than if they were sitting in front of an audition.
Okay.
And they're going to pick the 5 they need out of maybe the 45 we've sent to them, or whatever the number call may be. But if you weren't available that day, you just don't post your availability, because I think you would, being a working actor, you never know what that call time's going to be.
Nope.
You know, you have to make adjustments, especially if you have a family.
Yes.
And you just have to be on set when it's time to be on set.
Yeah.
So you don't need to give your availability a week in advance to you guys?
We take our actors can put their availability up 15 days in advance. We do a lot of pre-bookings into the next week and the next week for the casting directors.
But say I wanted to, I found out today that I had something to do tomorrow. I could just take off my availability?
Yep, just pull it off.
Online or?
Online, on your website, on your profile on your website. Or let's say it's an audition. I mean, we understand people want to make their auditions. So they pull themselves off. And then let's say the audition got canceled. You can just put yourself back on, because we're going to be searching all day long. I mean, literally all day long from morning to night. We're doing searches and sending in submissions, hoping to get a casting director to want to book. And it goes on from early in the morning, because we're really good at rush calls. My clients are excellent at being rushed to set. And it goes all the way till, usually I hopefully turn it off by midnight. But there's been plenty of nights that casting directors are getting calls for additions or for even cuts. And so you have to be available to give that information to your background actor.
Oh.
Excellent.
Now, what is the strangest call you've had? Like the strangest, can you find me a group of blah, blah, blahs? Like, and you're like, say what? Maybe the weirdest one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's a good one. I don't know if strange, because like I said, my roster is very bookable, clean cut, but we do some adult content. And sometimes when you do adult content, you've got some weird scenes.
Yeah.
So hats off to all my clients that check that attribute and are okay with it. And for the most part, get out there, and they're not involved in the adult content.
Right.
They're the background, but they've seen some pretty crazy things. I'll leave it at that. I'd probably say the adult content.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything is just watching amazing motion pictures being made. We worked on, as you know, Argo and Water for Elephants and
and all of that, so period, especially Water for Elephants. I was fascinated.
Period.
Because you had a lot of people. Those are huge circus
And that was up
scenes.
in Lake Piru. It's very beautiful up there. Being native born, I know these areas, and it was beautiful. And if you could get past the actor going, oh, it's so far, I would write in the details, this is beautiful where you're going. So take it all in. Make it an experience for the day, and you're going to be on set being paid.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about being an actor. In the background end of it, you're kind of like an intern. You're kind of going in to learn something, but you're getting paid. It's hands-on. So I always, when someone's first starting out, they're new and they're getting put on a show that they, either want to be on or are not sure of, they're going to get a good experience, especially some of these big productions or period pieces that you wouldn't normally have if you were just trying to be an attorney or something like that, medical school, or, well, I think maybe being in hospitals is pretty exciting, but, you just never know. And a lot of times, even when you were talking about some of your shows, Brent, I don't know who's in them. Our service, a booking service, runs so fast. We're told things are, as you know, untitled something project. I don't know who's in them. I'm never told. I don't really care. I just look to what they want, get them that submission quick, and hopefully get some bookings. And then I hear later on,
you'll never guess
Warren
who was on
Beatty,
set.
or we're doing a Warren Beatty project right now, and I had no idea it was with Warren Beatty. For the baseball players. So
sometimes they'll even give fake names like Raging Bull 2 or
a really good one that just came out was Divergent. It was under Catbird.
Oh,
so
was
we
it?
knew it as Catbird.
Okay.
We worked a lot on that too. Filmed right in downtown LA. Yep. My crew worked on it a lot too.
I wonder what Catbird stands for. Do you know?
Sometimes they just pick a name.
Oh, I don't know. I don't because I don't know the show. I mean the movie. Right. It was a young adult novel, right? The one with Shailene Woodley.
Have you seen the posters? Divergent.
Yeah,
Divergent. Yeah.
It's out now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. They have really cool posters.
I know. I
gonna be a
do.
good one.
And that was another one. Once they got to set very long hours, grueling hours, and it
Yeah.
was cold. But boy, when you see some of the photos that I had a couple of my employees that are also actors and established actors work on these sets and work on that set, and it's pretty cool when you see the pictures of them. They look like what you see on the film.
So cool.
Yeah.
And that means overtime, long hours, which
I
is
think
always
extras
good.
extras like long hours.
We appreciate that.
It's not a job for everybody.
No.
You have to understand it, and you want to stay longer to make more money, especially non-union. Although we're very happy, we do get a lot of higher-based non-union work.
I think I'd rather do a really short day or a really long day.
Yeah,
Those
short
ones that
day
are
'cause
exactly
then you make
8
a lot of
hours.
money, in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Long day because it just starts to add up, over time.
It really does. And with the bumps and everything,
Yeah.
smoke bumps and everything, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
What's a smoke bump?
When you're around fake smoke, they give you extra money. If you bring your tuxedo, they give you extra money. If
Yeah,
you get
I've seen-
wet, they bring you extra money. Wet bump.
A wet bump.
I did Hitchcock, and they had this big machine that was pouring rain on us. We were supposed to be outside the Psycho premiere. We got a whole bunch of extra money just because we got wet.
Huh.
Kind of cool. Those little bumps add up. you
Yeah,
know?
Cool.
they do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lisa.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Super
Thank
fun.
you. It was really nice being here. Thank you.
That was Lisa Marquise of Cut Above Casting. You can find information about Cut Above Casting at cutabovecasting.com or on Facebook at Cut Above Casting and Twitter at Cut Above Casting.
All that stuff.
Is there a good email that maybe if people want to email and ask
You're welcome.
questions?
Sure, you're welcome to email Lisa at cutabovecasting.com. I'm around my emails all the time. Finished them up before I came here, and I'm sure I'll go hold many more. So you can always email us. You can call us. You can post on our Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook. We really like to let the extras know how much we're working for them, and we like to spotlight extras that work a lot and send good emails in, and everyone just like you said, everything in life, you want good things to happen. So
Exactly.
You keep paying it forward, and it will pay off.
Agreed. Sounds like a lot of good things are happening for Cut Above Casting and its
absolutely.
clients.
Thank you. Thanks
You're
for
still
having me.
successful
Absolutely.
2014, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Who we got? Tell us about the amazing guest we have next week. Our returning guest.
A returning guest, Christopher McNeely. He's an actor. He's also an acting coach. He's a great guy, friend of mine, and he has put together a loop group. So he's going to have members of his loop group here next week.
I have no idea what that is. Do
We
they
will
do
learn.
lasso work or?
No,
Okay.
it's a voiceover.
It is a voiceover.
It's a voiceover, a piece of the voiceover communities that I think everybody will enjoy learning about. So tune in so you can find out what it is.
All right.
I think we're going to make it suspenseful.
Next Saturday at noon.
Yeah.
Be here because we'll be here.
Yeah.
For information on us, you can find us at facebook.com/lalalandtalk, twitter.com/lalalandtalk. You can send us an email at lalalandtalk@gmail.com. And until next week, that's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
And there's Bert Chapin.
And this is La La Land on LA Talk Live. We'll see you at the top.